and I come out and offer a small catechetical lesson to you so that we can learn different things about the church. That's one of the reasons why I'm emphasizing that we recite the creed, Stevo, so that we are well versed both in the Greek and in the English, so that we can give an apologia, we can explain our faith to people who perhaps cannot speak Greek. We can tell them about the Nicene Council and how we, in the Orthodox tradition, continue to recite the creed in the original language. As a parenthesis, if you go to Rome, and you go to the Vatican, and you go to the Cathedral of Peter and Paul, belongs to the Roman Catholic Vatican Church, right over the door, for those of you who have gone, right over the door, as you enter into the Catholic Cathedral of the Pope, is the creed that we recite every Sunday in Greek, exactly the way we recite it on the door of the Vatican. The sad thing is that in the Catholic Church today, in their churches, when they recite the creed without one of those words taken out. The filioque is added, an addition has been added into that creed. So it is somewhat ironic that in the church that they enter is the Orthodox creed, but in their liturgy they add another word, the filioque. And that some other day we can talk about what that means. So we should be proud that we maintain the creed as it was written in the 4th century, 2nd and 4th centuries, but we need to understand what it is that we are reciting, and that's why we really need to know it in Greek as well as in English. I close the parenthesis. What is this called? Thymiato. So you know this one. You know the Thymiato. I've been coming out with a variety of things. I said to myself, I bet they know this. But I'm wondering if you know how many bells are on it. 12. Why? The 12 apostles. So the bells represent what? Not just the apostles. Let's be specific. What about the apostles? We could have had 12, I don't know, beads. 12, something. Why bells? Yes, to announce their voice. So when you hear the bells, you hear the voice. So how many of you say that what we just said is correct? 12 bells, 12 apostles on the Thymiato. Don't be afraid. Do you believe that? And you would all be wrong. See how I set you up? Half right. It is the apostles. It is the voice. But would it surprise you if I tell you if you count them, there are not 12? Say that again? One is missing. And asleepy, she said. There are 11 bells on the Thymiato, not 12. Because of Judas. No voice. So now you know something that the majority of Orthodox Christians in almost every Orthodox church do not know. Except the churches that I've been at and have taught them, and they know. And I'm sure there are other priests as well that have taught this, but sometimes people need to hear it over and over again. These are the small things, but they are not so small. They are theological messages that the church is trying to convey. It's trying to, and this is why when I come in front of you and I sense you, remember, I say you don't do your cross. You're supposed to bow your head in respect, accept the aroma of God, so that you, when you go out into the world, you can be the voice. You can be the aroma. St. Paul, in one of his epistles, says that you, meaning he's talking to the people, he says, you are the aroma of Christ. You are the fragrance of God. Meaning, wherever we go, our presence should leave a mark. We should have an aroma. So the Thymiato reminds us of that. So when we do this in front of the icons, in front of you who are the living icon of Christ, you receive the aroma so that you can go out and be an aroma. If you've ever been around monks, for example, those in monasteries, their whole body reeks, wrong word, it emits a beautiful fragrance of aroma, of the incense. They're always around the incense. Well, it's intentional, so that we too can be the same thing. Wouldn't it be nice if people would say, here comes Dade or Dade, whoever. He or she has a beautiful aroma, the way they live out their life. Not just a physical aroma, but a spiritual aroma. We make a difference in our offices, in our businesses, in our homes, with our friends, whatever we do. We have the aroma of Christ. There's something different about us. But if we are not, then our voice is missing. Our voice is missing. So this is the Thymiato. What is this called? I put it over here early in the morning. I got you. I think I heard someone say Kadzion. Kadzi. It sounds like a Turkish word. And it looks almost more Turkish than it looks Greek. You know, and it's Hellenic, more Turkish. But this is called a Kadzi. And typically, any Thymiato that does not have 12 bells on it, or no bells, if it doesn't have any bells, is a Kadzi. Typically, it's called Kadzion. When do we use this? No, not weddings. Funerals, usually. Sometimes we do this, sometimes we do this. But typically, during Holy Week, when Judas betrayed Jesus from Wednesday on until Pascha, from Wednesday on, we don't use this anymore. Because what did the disciples do when Jesus was arrested? They ran. They scattered. They went and hid. The voice was silent. So when the priest comes out during Holy Week, sometimes they come out with a kadzi, like this kadzi, without bells, or just a Thymiato, and they go around. Again, it might be a leptomeria to some of you, but it's a theological message there. That when we desert Christ, and our voice is silent, then we are no longer the aroma that we should be. We should be an aroma of Christ. So whenever you give the bells, and that's one other reason why the bishop, any bishop, has bells on their vestments. Because the primary job of the bishop is to be the teacher, with a capital T, the evangelist, the announcer of the good news of Jesus Christ. So now you know a little bit more about the church. Please rise.